श्री स्वामी समर्थ. आज थोडं आपले जे इंग्लिश ट्रेनर आहेत त्यांचं थोडं मेडिकल इमर्जन्सी असल्यामुळे आज आपण जे कालचं लेक्चर आहे तेच लेक्चर कंटिन्यू करणार आहोत आणि उद्याच्या लेक्चरच्या संदर्भात सुद्धा आज संध्याकाळपर्यंत आपल्या सर्वांना माहिती दिली जाईल. तर कालचं जे लेक्चर झालं आहे त्यात काही आपल्याला डाऊट्स असतील तर ते लेक्चर आपण सर्वांनी त्या लेक्चर गो थ्रू करावं आणि त्याच्यात जर काही डाऊट असतील तर आपण कमेंट सेक्शनमध्ये टाकावं तसं. आणि बाकीचे अजून काही स्टुडंट जे आहेत आपले जॉईन झाल्यानंतर त्यांना देखील हा मेसेज आपण सर्वांनी पाठवावा. श्री स्वामी समर्थ.
श्री स्वामी समर्थ. गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णू गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. परमपूज्य मोरे दादा, परमपूज्य गुरु माऊली यांना वंदन करून आपण आपल्या आजच्या या क्लासला सुरुवात करूया. अ व्हेरी गुड आफ्टरनून टू ऑल डिअर लर्नर्स. A very good afternoon to all dear learners. Yes, I would like to welcome you on behalf of Accent Academy. All right, so let's begin with what we have done yesterday. So let's take a step back, and then begin so that we can revise and then move ahead. All right. So yesterday what we have done, we have learned about using have, has and had. So we use have, has in case of present tense. Okay, have is used when we talk about I, you, we, they, and has is used when we talk about third person, that is in case of pronouns he, she, it. And I know all my dear learners are thorough with this by now. Yes, first person, second person, third person हा आपला सगळ्यात पहिला लेसन होता इफ आय एम नॉट रॉंग. सो आतापर्यंत सगळ्यांनाच याची आयडिया आली आहे की व्हॉट इज फर्स्ट, सेकंड अँड थर्ड पर्सन. सो मूव्हिंग अहेड वी ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड अबाउट युझिंग हॅड. Using had, when do we use had? When do we use had? We use had in case of past tense. Yes, in case of past tense, be it first, second or third, we use had itself. Okay. Life is like tenses. Past, future, indefinite. So your past, if it is perfect, everything is well in your past. Your present, you have to see to it that you are moving ahead with your present. आपण present मध्ये जगतोय. And future is indefinite. Indefinite means we don't know what is going to happen in the coming time, in the coming future. So we live according to the tenses. Yes, past perfect, present continuous, and future indefinite. So let's begin our new topic with this. So today we are going to learn about, can you all guess? I think we have done with the simple form of past, present, and future. Okay, so we are going to move ahead with the continuous form. So we are going to take a step forward and move towards the continuous form of verbs. So when I say this word continuous, yes, it is the form of tense in which we use our verb. आपण याच्यात verb वेगळ्या पद्धतीने use करतो. But for this word continuous, sometimes some other word is also used, which is progressive. So your thoughts should be progressive. Progressive means you should always keep on learning, keep on bettering yourself. When I say bettering yourself means you should improve, you should try to be the better version of yourself. Yes, that is bettering of yourself. So let's understand what is present continuous tense. So moving ahead, present continuous tense, when do we use present continuous tense? That is important. But for that, let us revise when do we use simple present tense. And I expect answers for you all. When do we use simple present tense? कुठल्या केसमध्ये आपण सिंपल प्रेझेंट टेन्स वापरतो? And I expect answers from you all. तर तुम्हाला कळलं तर तुम्ही सिंपल प्रेझेंट अँड प्रेझेंट कंटिन्युअस मध्ये डिफरन्सिएशन करू शकाल. यू कॅन डिफरन्शिएट अँड ओनली देन यू कॅन यूज बोथ द टेन्सेस without making any errors. When do we use simple present tense? When we talk about facts that are generally or always true. Yes, we use simple present tense when we talk about facts. So can you all give me few examples of these facts? Facts means the truth. Okay, sometimes you must have heard, tell me the fact, tell me the fact, tell me the truth. So when we talk about truth, which is not going to change ever, the sun rises in the east, that's the ultimate truth. It is always going to rise from the east, never it will rise from the west. Okay, some facts like the whales live in the ocean, isn't it? The whales live in the ocean. Can the whales come and start living in the river or a pond? No. Whale is a huge animal, is a huge sea animal, and it lives in the ocean. So that is the truth, that is the fact. Yes. So when we talk about truth, when we talk about fact, which is always true, which is not going to change ever, we use simple present tense. All right. So the next case when we use simple present tense is when we talk about our actions, our habits. Our actions and our habits. So that is what we are not going to change. That is going to what we are. That is what we are being doing from long time. Okay, elephant is a big animal. Yes, that can be an example of a fact. Ganga is a river. Yes, Ganga is never going to change into a pond. Yes, yes, human need water. Yes, that is a fact. Good examples. All right. Now let's move on to some examples based on regular habits or repeated actions. Like I brush my teeth twice a day. Yes, so that is a habit which I repeat every day. Okay. I expect some examples from your side. Let me see what are examples. I wake up in the morning, All right, Delhi is the capital. This is the example of fact. I bath every day. Yes, that is then an example of a regular habit which is repeated. Yes, Ram gets up early in the morning. I pray every morning. Yes, I walk to office. So that is my habit. So all these are the habits. And whenever we talk about our habits, which we repeat regularly, we are supposed to use simple present tense. Okay. And simple present tense, one way, um, I do my study every day. Yes, that is also a habit. Yes. So common time expressions that we use in simple present tense are always, often, generally, every day, every week, every year, or in the morning, in the afternoon. So this is what we keep on saying when we use simple present tense. I walk to the office every day. So that is what is my habit. Then I brush my teeth twice a day. That is about my habit. Sun rises every morning. So morning here I'm trying to tell the time. Okay, so these are the time expressions which will help you to understand that the action is in simple present tense. The verb is telling us about simple present tense. Yes, this we have done in our earlier class as well. So now let us understand, when are we supposed to use present continuous tense, or what is the verb that we use in present continuous tense. Now when I say continuous, जेव्हा मी continuous हा शब्द वापरते तेव्हा you will come to know that something which is happening continuously. Yes, the action is going on. The action is happening when I am speaking to you all. Yes, the action is happening at this moment. Yes, the action is happening now when I'm talking to you all. So the action has not completed. The action has not finished. It is still happening. Yes, so present continuous tense we use when we talk about action which is not yet completed, action which is happening at this moment, action which is in the process, which is progressing. And that is why we say it also as progressive tense. Yes, so continuous tense is also called progressive tense. Now let us understand the rule when we use the progressive present continuous or present progressive tense. So first of all, I want answers from you all. Which are the helping verbs that we use in present tense? Helping verbs. Okay, I'm asking about helping verbs. In present tense. Helping verbs that we use in present tense. Quickly, come on, my bright. Yes, Sachin Ghotekar. Is, am, are the helping verbs which we use when we talk about simple present tense. So we will be using the helping verb, that is, am, is, am, are, plus the verb plus ing. You have to add ing to the verb plus the object, whatever can be the object. Okay, so this is the rule that you are supposed to follow. Is, am, are plus the verb, and you have to add ing to the verb over here. So the crux here is this ing. The king of the story, or the hero of the story here is ing. इजेमार तर तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, प्रेझेंट टेन्स मध्ये आपण इजेमार वापरतो, but in present continuous tense ing is the hero of our story. Okay, so next time whenever you're talking about present continuous tense, you are supposed to add ing to the verb. Now I want few examples from your side. let us take some examples of first person. First person, yes. I am studying English, so Radha Pampatwar is so quick. She is a proactive person, I feel. Okay, proactive means who is already active, who is very quick. Yes, Radha. Wonderful. I am studying English. So good example. Some more examples from your side. I'm listening to your lecture. Yes, Chitra Dhaval. And I think Chitra Dhaval is the sincere one because her homeworks are regular. Her homework submission is always regular. I am cooking. Okay. I am working in garden. Kishori Patil. So you are working in the garden at the same time talking to me. All right. Okay. I am reading a book. Yes. I'm going to job. All right. I'm going to school. I'm watching English lecture. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now let's take an example of second person. Second person present continuous tense. Good going, class. Second person. What is the pronoun that we use in second person? Do we use I? I don't think so. So what is the pronoun that we use in the second person? Do we use she? Sonal Khindre, I don't think we use she. We don't use I either. You. We use you in second person. Second person, if you all don't remember, second person we use when we are directly talking to that person. There is no one else. We are only talking to that person about that person. You are playing. That can be an example of second person continuous tense. You are learning English to us. Okay, you are teaching English to us, and all right, you are playing cricket. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, it can also be an action which you have started earlier, but it has not completed still. Like I started reading the book yesterday, but still I haven't completed that reading that book. So I can say that I am reading this great book nowadays. Okay, because I am still reading. I haven't completed reading that book. Okay. So, like those who are already working, and if you're working on a project, the project was assigned maybe in the last month, and still you're working, you can say, I am working on so and so dash 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 project. Okay. Wonderful. So, next time, mind your tenses when you're framing sentences. Mind your tenses when you're framing sentences. Because tenses, if your tenses are not correct when you are in a conversation, that can lead to miscommunication. Okay. If you are not using the correct tense, the person will understand that you're talking about yesterday, whereas you're talking about something which is happening now at the moment. Okay. So your tenses you should be perfect with. Yes. So I hope you all are clear with the second person present continuous tense. Now let's take an example of third person present continuous tense. Yes, third person present continuous tense. So by now you know that I is used in first person, you is used in second person. In second person, we can also use they. Yes, we can also use they. Because if it is a group, if we are talking about plural, then they are sleeping. Okay, or they are watching a movie. Now let's talk about third person. In third person, what are the pronouns that we use? He, she, it. He, she, it. Yes, wonderful. She is playing in the garden. She is playing with the ball. All right. He, she, it. Wonderful. Om. They are playing is they are cooking is an example of second. Yes, third person. Okay. They are going to school. They are reading. They are used in, they is used in third person when we talk about plurals. Yes. She is working on a project. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good going. She is laughing. Yes. Now let's understand what is the common time expression that we use in present continuous tense. The time expression like now. What are you doing now, right now, at the moment, or still the work is going on. So based on these time expressions, you can identify whether you have to use present continuous or simple present tense. Okay, if the action which is happening now, right now, at this moment, or the action that hasn't completed still. Okay, so these are the time expressions. So with the help of time expressions, it will be easier for you all to understand when to use the correct form of tense. Yes, all right, all right. They are our relatives. No, that can't be. They are coloring the vase. Wonderful. Yes, good going, good going. All right. So I'll be giving you few examples. I'll be putting in few questions over here, few sentences exactly, actually. And those sentences, you have to identify what is the tense, and then you have to change it. If it is in present, you have to change it to present continuous. If it is in present continuous, change it to simple. Okay, I repeat my instructions. I'll be displaying few statements, few sentences here. You have to identify which tense it is. If it is simple present, change it to present continuous. If it is present continuous, then change it to simple present. All right. So get geared up for that. It is a simple present tense sentence. Zubi lives in Nasik. Chitra Dhaval says it is a simple present tense sentence. Okay. If you all feel it is a simple present tense, then change it to present continuous. Zubi is living. Your helping verb here is missing. Okay. Zubi is living in Nasik. Yes. Wonderful. Few more. Wonderful. Rohini Balaji Pawar. Yes, Sumedha Dharmadhikari. This is an example of simple present tense. Yes. Pratima Mankame says Zubin is living in Nasik. Okay. Zubi is living in Nasik. Manisha Patil says wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good going. Now let's take some other sentence. The second sentence for y'all. And I hope you all are doing your speaking practice. Understand where to lay emphasis, where to put stress when you are speaking. Yes, Steve reads a book every night. Like if you want to about convey an idea about the book, about reading the book, so you have to put stress on reads a book, and the rest of the sentences in the statement can be subordinated, means you don't have to put stress. So fluency is basically based on the flow of words from your mouth and the proper stress that you put. Okay, so Steve reads a book every night. Okay, so reading a book is the basic idea that you want to convey, so you have to stress on that. Steve is reading a book every night. If it is every night, then how? Okay, then how is it continuous? What did I tell you? That if you have to be very careful about your time expressions, like something which is happening now, something which is happening right now, something which is still going on. Steve is reading a book. Every night won't come. If it is every night, then it becomes an action, and we use simple present tense when we talk about actions or habits that happen every day or which are repeated. Yes, Shamnar and Rajbhar. So if it is repeated, then it is simple present tense. Okay. And if you want to convert it, if you want to change it to continuous, then you should not talk about repetition of the action. So Steve is reading a book. These days you can add into. Okay. All right. I have given a complex sentence. So be careful. Read the sentence. Try to understand the verb, the form of the verb used. Those who are having any doubts can connect me on my mail. Yes, it is simple present tense. Helps. Change it to continuous. Yes, Savita Chavan, you are right. You are the one who is helping me. Is. I said is, am, are, you have to use. Most of the sentences is missing. So you are supposed to use is before the verb. You are the one who is helping me with the information. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, let's move to the next one. Yes, identify the form of the verb in the sentence. Okay, Sumedha Dharmadhikari. All right, she has given her answer. Atul Gharge, you are right. Chitra Dhaval, you are right. Kishori Patil, yes. This is an example of present continuous tense. Now change it to simple present. So this is a task. See, now I'll give you a clue over here. When I say it is a task, means it is something which is difficult. Okay, so don't get scared. If you have you have been attentive in my earlier classes, you will be able to do this correctly. Let me give you a clue. Like this, we have done in our 5th class, if I'm not wrong. He doesn't come here every day. Shruti Varadkar, Sham Narayan Rajbhar, Sumedha Dharmadhikari. Yes, he doesn't come here every day. Wonderful. So you all are there with me since the first class, it seems. Yes, and those who have understood, those who are attentive, could crack this. Yes, wonderful. He doesn't come here every day. Let's take the next example. Doesn't coming will not come, Prajakta Amrutkar. Coming, if you use, then that will be continuous. And with continuous, doesn't goes. Doesn't we use in simple present tense. Okay. So correct your sentence. Yes, let's move to the next one. Birds are chirping on the tree. Birds are chirping. As usual, Chitra Dhaval. I want many more answers from your side. Identify the tense. Yes, Suman Vakte, Aparna Vaghmare. Yes, Kishori Patil. Wonderful, wonderful. It is an example of present continuous tense. Let's change it to simple present. Birds are chirping on the tree. Birds are chirping on the tree. Birds chirps on the tree. Sonali Khindre and someone also has written chirps. Sadhana Bharambe. Chirps. Will the verb have s if our subject is in plural? If our subject is in plural, the verb will not have s. This we have learnt in subject verb agreement. Yes. So make correction. If the if the subject is plural, verb will not have s. Birds chirp on the tree. Yes, I hope you all know the meaning of this word chirp. And if you all don't know, you can spam the chat box. We are currently traveling to Mumbai. Yes. Yes, Kishori Patil, chirping is chivchivat. Yes, it is an example of present continuous traveling. If there is ing with the verb, it is very obvious it is continuous. Yes. So change it to present, simple present. We currently travel to Mumbai. We currently traveling to Mumbai. All right. We travel to Mumbai. Yes, we travel to Mumbai. Currently is something what is happening now. Okay, so currently is a word which signifies action happening now, action happening at the moment. So currently you are not supposed to use when you are talking about simple present tense, because simple present tense is all about actions or habits which happen regularly, or facts. So you're not supposed to use currently here. We travel to Mumbai. That's the simple present form. Yes. So currently you are not expected to use. All right. Let's move to the past continuous form. We were traveling to Mumbai. That is the past form. But yes. So you all are great. Already all know. So subject plus was or were plus the ing. Ing is always going to be there when you talk about continuous tense. So it is going to be your subject plus was or were. We have already learned this. Was or were we use when we talk about past tense. Okay. Was or were plus the verb, verb plus ing, and plus your object. So it is as simple as that. The difference here is your helping verb. It changes from is am are to was were. Yes? From is am are it will change to was were. We were traveling to Mumbai. I was going. She was coming. She was fixing the computer. They were trying to solve the question. I was studying English. Yes. Now, when do we use past continuous tense? With the examples, if you could guess, well and good. So we use our past continuous tense when we talk about the action or the states which are happening in a particular time in the past. Okay, like I was eating when the movie started. Okay, so that happened in the past. When I was doing this, this happened. Okay, so you can use past continuous tense to refer about the background event. So actually the event is the movie happened when I was eating. Okay, when the action has already happened in the past and some other action overlaps, we can say that the action overlaps. I was saved money. First of all, this sentence is the sentence formation needs to be corrected. I saved money. And if you are using continuous, ing should be there. In your sentence, ing is missing. So I was saving. In this, ed will not be used. Ed. You remember in the simple past tense, we used ed. But in the past continuous tense, we are not adding ed. We are adding ing after the verb. Okay? Cooking, the first form of verb plus ing. Let me make a correction over here. It is the first form of verb, or you can say the base form of verb plus ing. Because in the past tense, many of you will say traveling. Traveled will be the second form. So it is not the second form that we use in past continuous. The first form itself, but with ing. That is the important thing that you have to be careful about, past continuous. Okay, so when do we use past continuous tense? We use past continuous tense when we talk about an action in the past which overlaps another action. Like I gave you an example. I was eating when the movie started. I was walking to the station when I met Radha. Yes, it was 3 o'clock when I started to home. Yes, so there is a overlap of action, and we can use the past continuous tense for the background of the story. Like when you are narrating any story, when you're narrating what was the event happened over there. If something has happened, like the guest arrived, so I was sleeping when the guest arrived. Okay, and yes, most importantly, continuous tenses are used when the actions are temporary. This is the important difference between simple form of the tenses and the continuous. In continuous, the actions are temporary. If I am eating now, it doesn't mean that I'm permanently going to eat. That is temporary. Okay, whereas in permanent, she eats an apple and she eats an apple, that is going to be her habit. That is not going to change, and that is why it is permanent. So continuous we use when we talk about temporary habits. Okay, we use it to emphasize that something lasted for a while. Something had happened in the past and that is lasting for some time, means going on for some time. I was finishing work yesterday when she called me. Okay, I was going to Kolhapur. All right, I was sleeping early in last night. Okay, I was sleeping last night. Make correction. I was sleeping last night. I was watching a movie. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So let's revise what all we have done. In the beginning, we tried to understand about when we use the simple form of tense, the simple form of past tense, when we talk about our habit or when we talk about the fact, the truth that is never going to change, that is generally or always true. Okay, so that we can differentiate about when we can use continuous tense. Continuous tense is used when we are talking about the action which is happening now, when I'm talking at this moment, or which has already started earlier, maybe yesterday, maybe next year, but it is still happening. Okay, so in case of the hot topic of discussion, COVID patients are suffering till 2022. You can say it started in 2020, but still it is there. It's going on. So you can say suffering. You can use continuous tense over there. I am having food. Yes, wonderful. And then we learnt about past continuous. Was, were. Is, MR plus the base form of verb ing. That is the rule for present. Was, were plus the base form of verb plus ing. That is for past. Okay. Let us understand for future. What is the helping verb that we use in future tense? Simple future tense. Yes. What is the helping verb that we use in simple future tense? Will, shall, all right. Okay, so we have also done when do we use will, when do we use shall. When do we use shall? If you feel that we use shall in a formal setting, you have to type 1 in the chat box. If you feel that we use shall when we meet our friends or relatives, you have to type 2 in the chat box. One, so many one. The chat box is full with ones. Wonderful. So we use shall in a formal setting. Yes. So let us understand the rule that we have to follow when we talk about future continuous tense. So yes, subject plus will plus be plus base form of verb plus ing and obviously the object. So will be. After will, you are supposed to add be. So what are you going to do tomorrow at this time? I will be attending a class. I will be, attend will become attending a class. Yes. I will be going to school at this time. Yes. Yes, Atul Gharge, if you are in discussion with your family, you can use will. Shall is also fine, but then if you are in a formal discussion, then you have to use shall prominently. When you are in an informal discussion, will and shall both is fine. I didn't understand your questions. Okay. What questions? Can you please specify? All right. So, yes, I expect few examples about future continuous before we end our class. I will be writing the notes. I will be going to office. Thunder, dragon. Can you please take tense at very basic? Tense we have started from very basic. If you have not watched the earlier videos, the earlier sessions, you can go back and watch. I will send the English speaking homework. Wonderful. I will be going to the market. Okay. I will be talking with my friends. With. Okay. I will be cooking meal. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So you all have understood how to use present continuous, when to use present continuous, how to use past, future continuous, and when you are supposed to use present, future, past continuous tense. Okay. So that's all for today. You all have to practice speaking, listening, reading, writing. That comes later. So yes, when I say writing, yes, many of them they get confused. Writing हे तर आम्ही रोज लिहितोय, हे जे तुम्ही एक्झाम्पल्स देतो ते आम्ही रोज लिहितोय, बट रायटिंग इज नॉट दॅट. When I say writing, writing is completely your ideas put on paper. That is writing. Okay. तुम्ही म्हणाल हे तर मी रोज लिहिते आणि मॅम काय म्हणताय रायटिंग लेटर. So writing, when I say writing, it doesn't mean that. Writing means your ideas when you are putting it on papers, on a paper. That's called writing. Okay. So email ID I have already provided. Email ID I have already provided. Yes. So your homework is you have to read a story. Okay. And you have to look for the continuous tense used in that story. And as you look for the continuous tense used in that story, that will be your reading homework. You are listening, you can go to story viewer, or you can also listen to uh, uh, the the videos based on continuous tense. Okay. Or the songs based on continuous tense. And repeat the mail. Definitely I'll be repeating. And yes, for your speaking, आज दिवसभरात तुम्ही जे जे काही करताय ते तुम्ही बोलायची प्रॅक्टिस करा. काल तुम्ही जे जे काही केलं ते तुमच्या फॅमिलीला, तुमच्या फ्रेंड्सला ऐकवा. जे जे काही केलं, करताना जे काही झालं, सो दॅट इज द बॅकग्राऊंड ऍक्शन, ओव्हरलॅप ऑफ ऍक्शन, पास्ट. मी काल बाजारात गेले होते तेव्हा मला ती भेटली. सो yesterday I had been to the market. I was walking in the market when I met my friend. I was walking. Yes. Mail ID. All right. I'll just type it here. So this is the mail ID. All right. And on this note, I would like to end our today's session. या कुंदेन तुषारहार धवला, या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता, या वीणावर दंड मंडित करा, या श्वेत पद्मासना, या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवे सदा वंदिता, सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.